Are small exporters embracing the emerging markets, and if not, why not?
Definitely. I mean, through UKTI we've had research done on Russia. One of our salespeople is there as we speak. It's the second visit. The first visit a couple of years ago didn't produce any immediate sales, but second time around, you've also, we've talked about the very small businesses where it is the owner who has to do everything. Well, if you're lucky and you have a slightly larger team, then you may have the person who's more suited to that market. To go off to a country where you don't speak a word of the language and you can't read any of the signs, that's pretty daunting. I mean, I don't think I'd want to set off myself and do that. So finding the right member of your team that is able to engage that is very important. So, look at your own skills, examine your own skills, who's best for this market, but don't send him off blindly. You've got to have a structure. We put together a list of potential customers. From those we selected an agent, a man who would work for us. Now, agents are only as good as their last sale, and they only work for you when you're there in front of them. As soon as you get on the plane, they switch off to somebody else. You have to realise that. They only have money to make for themselves, not for you. But if you work within those parameters, understand their failings and their personalities, then you can get the best out of them. So, research your market, find some potential customers, find an agent, and then you have to get on the plane and go. And do your best, on the first trip. Take your samples with you. Don't suddenly the day before you go think, I need some samples, where are they? Have them ready for that market. What type of product does that market take? We deal in timbers, so what timbers will they use? Will they use the European woods which are on their doorstep? No, more likely they'll want the American woods that they don't get every day. So do your homework.
I mean, I think there is a lot of interest in the BRIC market, but I think we also shouldn't get too stuck on just Brazil, Russia, India, and China. There are a lot of other markets out there as well that are growing incredibly fast. I mean, if you look at Nigeria, that's changed dramatically over the last several years, and there are big opportunities in those parts of West Africa. Parts of the Gulf states, really interesting. Going out further east, Indonesia, Malaysia. There are a large, and of course South America, there are a large number of really interesting markets. And I mean, the bulk of our sales are still historically to Europe and America. I think one of the challenges for us as a country is recognising that economic power, in a sense, the sense has shifted a lot more towards the east.
The 4 BRICS now, for the first time, were recorded in our statistics, and we've been in existence for 100 years. The 4 BRICS are in the top 10 of our exports for the first time. We've had 1 in, we've had 2 in. This time we've actually got all 4, which really does actually relate directly to that. But I think if you listen and watch the UKTI, you'd think that all they're about is BRIC, and that is very, very far from the truth. And people like you who are out in the Africas will get some tremendous support from the UKTI.
Yes. The
from
UKTI put me on to Ghana.
Exactly.
They struck oil, and now that's coming through, and the country is booming, and we're seeing rapid change there. Never thought of the country before. We've had the opposite experience with the Arab Spring. We had a lot of deals in the pipeline, and the banks just closed the doors on the letters of credit. So we had to put that on ice, and that was a major direct impact of political circumstances on the economy of those nations. So things change rapidly, and we've found that actually we're growing rapidly in those non-traditional, if you like to call them non-traditional, rest of world markets because of various reasons, but one of the major reasons is we're not seeing as tough a competition from our counterparts in Europe and America because we're small and we're quick to adapt, I think.